Hello and welcome to the Weekly Rewind presented by Attractions Magazine. I'm your host, Theron White, and this week we're going from Monday, September 11th to Sunday, September 17th. Now, starting on Monday, we were talking about Irma. She was still technically here on Monday. A lot of the parks were closed. Some reopened later, but most of the major parks were closed all day Monday to get prepared for a perfect opening on Tuesday. Now, overall, we did have very low damage. Most of the trees and stuff that fell down to a lot of the Disney and Universal resorts were picked up even later that day. So for guests, it was really just kind of a blink of an eye and it was back to normal life, which was so great to see. At Walt Disney World, the only attraction that we know of right now that is closed for the time being because of Irma would be the Jungle Cruise. We heard a lot of trees fell down. Trees are a big part of that attraction, so that makes sense as to why that would cause it to go down for a little bit. Now, moving on to Tuesday, we talk about the Epcot Festival of the Holidays. Now, we do technically have another festival now. So we have the Food and Wine Festival, the Flower and Garden Festival, the Festival of the Arts, and of course, now the holidays around the world being transformed into the International Festival of the Holidays. So this festival is going to last from November 19th until December 30th. It's going to offer about the same things as they had before, what they would do for Christmas, just making it more festival style, obviously. Plenty of food. They're going to have the already like the illuminations, fireworks, but then the special like Christmas ending, which, it's amazing. It's so stinking good. So that's really awesome to see, as well as learning some traditions from around all the different countries and kind of seeing how each country does like its own thing for Christmas. There's going to be the candlelight processional with all the famous celebrities. So tons and tons of fun things to do that make Epcot even more great of a place than it already is. On Wednesday, we talked about Irma once again, as we were speaking of all the fun that people were having at all the Orlando-based resorts. Now, our reporters Jonathan and Elisa were staying at All-Star Music Resort, and it was awesome because they were able to bring their dog because of the storm, and their dog was able to meet some of the famous Disney dogs. At the Disney resorts and resorts all over the place, people were really focusing on how can we keep the families engaged, the kids engaged, the adults engaged, keep them not thinking about the hurricane, not thinking about the storm, but just trying to have fun at the resort and trying to get past this together. It seemed, I saw on Twitter everywhere, people giving amazing reviews for the cast members all over Walt Disney World, just the incredible job they did, not just of cleanup, but during the entire storm, just completely made people forget, completely distract them. Because if you're going to be stuck in a hotel room from some people it was 5 p.m. on Saturday night until sometime on Tuesday morning, that's a long time just to be inside your resort. So to be entertained, I know Disney was allowing that certain places had their arcade games for free. So just stuff like that, character meet and greets, places to go out, have fun, do scavenger hunts. There was a puppy parade at one of the hotels. It's things like that that really help it stand out and help make you almost kind of want to go to one of these resorts during a hurricane, because it goes from more of a survive and have food to have a ton of fun while you're stuck inside. So it was really great to see that, and I'm glad that everyone was safe and had fun. Moving on to Thursday, we talked about all the scare zones over at Universal's Halloween Horror Nights. Now, I was able to attend that today on Sunday. So much fun. They did an amazing job. I personally have some of my favorite scare zones. You can see what kind of yours is, and of course online we do have some previews for you to be able to check it out. Now, the main one is going to be the Altars of Horror. It's kind of like a synopsis of the entire park, of all the IP houses. You can kind of check out what there's going to be. So you've got the twins from The Shining, some people from The Purge, you got people from Insidious. I didn't really notice anything from Saw. I've never seen Saw. So there's a pig with hair. He was in the house too, in sometimes. So I'm going to guess the pig is really important. I'm sorry, I don't know. But there was a pig, so I'm going to say that represents Saw. And there was just one from every movie, so that was really cool to see. The Altars of Horror was a nice one to be able to go in and kind of give you a quick preview of what there was to come. The Festival of the Deadliest was really cool when all the stilt walkers were walking around. Made them really high up in the air. They had pretty awesome outfits. And they're also the people that kind of start the opening ceremony as well. Then Trick or Treat, based off of the movie, and I believe it's a TV show too. I'm not actually sure, to be honest, but I know that one was definitely the prettiest one. There is jack-o'-lanterns in all the trees. There's candles everywhere. There's a big pumpkin that every once in a while is going to shoot flames out. Really, really cool to see. There was also this funny old man who was get off my lawn. So again, I haven't seen those, but it was just beautiful as it was. If you've never seen it, it's just fun to see the kids going around, asking for candy, offering you candy, and snatching it right back, and just kind of having fun with the whole Halloween theme. Then, coming back again was The Purge. That was in the New York City streets area. Really, really awesome. It's cool. They kind of have like fake actors and like people like in the crowd. So random people get dragged into a van. They get pulled up to a main stage and get auctioned off or killed right in front of your eyes. It's probably the biggest scare zone, but like it definitely is, because it uses all of like the streets area. So you can go back in the alleyways and see stuff happening there. Motorcycles are driving around. Cars drive around. There's also a place where people get their bodies chopped up and skewered and blood goes all over the place. Of course, it's water, but you can't really tell at night. So it still adds to the fear thing. But my absolute favorite was Invasion. It's not scary. I'm not saying it's the scariest, because it's definitely not. It's wacky and it's fun and I love it. It's based in the 50s. It's kind of like aliens are invading. A UFO smashes into the ground, and it's just these, like, basically what the 50s thought aliens would look like. So they got like these weird faces, these big guns, these weird robes, and it's got fun music, fun lights. It's just cool, because it's really quirky, and you can see the aliens kind of running around in like a weird fashion. I highly, highly recommend going to check this one out. It's not a very big one, but the UFO looks great. All the costumes look great. I just think it's really awesome, and it totally fits the 1950s theme of like sci-fi aliens. Then for a second day in a row, we're talking about Halloween Horror Nights Scare Zones. You guys seem to really, really like this. They got our most likes and retweets for both of those days. So I'll talk a little bit more. There was also some roaming clowns that they had these chainsaws and they were running around. They usually always have some clowns with chainsaws somewhere in the park. It's going to be near the Simpsons area, and it was really cool to see them there. They did a great job, and they're able to really interact with the guests and kind of talk to them a little bit. So that's really cool. If you've never been to Universal, especially for Halloween Horror Nights, their scare zones are a lot of fun. It's really nice because in the houses, most of the time, the characters cannot really interact with you. They have to, do this, do that, and then go back. They kind of have a script they have to stick to. But the scare zones, you can get a little bit more personal. They can get in your face. They can get close. They can follow you. They can really pick someone, or they can move on and go to something else as well. So it's really cool that you're able to get that one-on-one interaction, and definitely go into the scare zones, definitely interact with everyone, and kind of get into the story, because the more you get into it, the more fun you're going to have. Then on Saturday, talking about Halloween Horror Nights once more, we're going into all 9 Halloween Horror Night houses here in Orlando. We were able to get a highlight video of all 9 Halloween Horror Night houses. Like I said, I went tonight, and crazy low wait times. I was actually able to do every single house at Halloween Horror Night, some of them even twice. And they've done a great job this year. Some of the sets are just incredible. They've done a great job with the IP houses and the original houses. From what I've personally enjoyed, Scarecrow is very, very scary. I heard the most screams in there. Everyone has said that's the scariest. So overall, just the full theme and like thoughts into it, it was definitely the scariest. I love also when they have like huge people come in, when they either it just be a really tall person or they be on stilts and something. And towards the very end, I'm not going to totally give it away, but there's something very big and it's very scary, and that is a ton of fun. Looks wise, The Shining, so good. It's like stepping into the movie. I really, really like that. I felt they did an amazing job being able to like totally take that film and put it into the real life, and you could just walk through the entire hotel and just totally feel like you were there. So amazing job on that. Pretty wise, like Dead Waters was beautiful. There was an entire like paddle boat there you got to go through. You got to walk sideways sometimes. You got to hear some of like the music from the bayou. So it was very different, a really cool feel. Overall, I really like all the houses. They're really interesting. There's even like, this is a side note, but in the Saw house, there's some buttons and you can hit them and stuff goes off. So supposedly they're in other houses, but you're not able to see it. Maybe it's too dark or we're just not noticing it well. But the Saw house definitely has some. So you'll see these red buttons on the wall. Just smack it and something will happen. Sometimes it's horn, sometimes it's air. Either way, it's really cool. But overall, great job, everyone who works for Halloween Horror Nights. You guys did an awesome job. I had so much fun. I'm definitely coming back. Sunday, we're going to talk about 2 of our different vloggers. The first being Vacation Kingdom, as they went to Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party. Highly recommend. Go check that out. See their adventures as they went around. You know, it did rain a little bit, but they were totally able to get around that and have a ton of fun that night. So make sure to go and check that out and see their whole adventure there. On the other side, As Dreamers Do showed us what mobile ordering is like over in Pandora. Oh, deliciousness. No matter what you get from Pandora, it's delicious. I love this at Thule Canteen. So you can be able to check that out there. They kind of explain how to do it and what the process is. And of course, see some awesome and delicious food. And that is it for this episode of The Weekly Rewind, presented by Attractions Magazine. I want to ask you this week, of all the houses you've seen so far, have you been to Halloween Horror Nights? Have you not been? Have you just seen our videos online? What are you the most excited for? Have you already been? Do you have a favorite? I just want to know, at Halloween Horror Nights, what is your top pick and what do you love the most? Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have an amazing week.